We're back, and I remembered what time it was, and I noticed a couple of you guys forgot it was Tuesday. So at least this week, I'm not the one who screwed up. So, all right, I figure we start off with a laugh. Might as well. So let's see if we get our 5x5s. There we go. I already forgot to do that part.
If we get our 5
There we go. All right. Hey, y'all, tell me real quick in the chats. Do you hear what I say? I know there's a delay, but did you all hear me say happy Tuesday night and everything, or does it come in like it does on mine a little bit late? Let's see. Somebody tell me if you heard me say happy Tuesday when I started at the top, because that'll tell me if I need. No, I did not. Okay. All right. So it comes in late. Okay. So then I know not 25 episodes later, I know to not talk until I see me on the screen. All right. So happy Tuesday. And as I noticed, I'll say it again, as I noticed a couple of you guys, I remembered it was Tuesday and y'all forgot. So that was kind of funny. All right. So I wanted to start with something that, those times in life where you go, I think I've seen it all, and then something just hits you that you're like, seriously? Okay. Now, y'all know we get trolls in here, okay? And we get them in the comments. But I have to say, somebody today posted the absolute stupidest, dumbest thing I think anybody could have possibly ever written. And this has got to be a troll, okay? Somebody there is insisting that Biden signed an executive order making all Trump voters felons, and that all of our property is going to be seized, and it's going to be a felony for somebody to feed us. And they were serious, okay? Now, the funny parts about this, and this is where it completely blows up, is, well, go look at whitehouse.net and you can see it there. Well, that's great, except the official White House site is whitehouse.gov. So, anybody can make whitehouse.net, okay? But the classic, though, was this part. They claimed it was Executive Order 1367 and Executive Order 1460. Now, if you go do any sort of, because all executive orders are numbered, okay, from the very first one. Executive Orders 1360 and Executive 1367 through at least 1460 were signed by William Taft. So I don't think Taft had anything to do with signing anything about Trump being president, considering he was only president, 100 years ago. So I thought that was kind of humorous. But yeah, of course, that's the kind of, and I left it up there just for you guys to go see it, okay? Because there's plenty of them that are funny, and some of them are insulting, and those I'll take. But this one was just so ludicrous that I figured, okay, somebody got to go read this one. So it was kind of interesting. So I thought that was that was fun. So, okay, welcome everybody to Tuesday night. See, Jacob, Patriot Sandwich Maker, North Shore are here in regards to moderators. Yeah, that's what they're called. There we go. So, glad they all are here and take care of the riffraff and anybody else that thinks that Trump voters should be felons. We'll take care of those. I got to find this one. So there was somebody that said it here. Bear with me just a second, because I was reading the chats for about 5 minutes before I got in there. And where is this person? Where was it? Come on. No, it was beforehand. No, don't tell me it's already gone. No, I bet you it already is. Crap. Okay, so, nope, it was reverse snowbird. Got it. So, making lasagna today and making 15 bean ham and bean soup. Awesome. I just finished dinner and you made me hungry. So, but yeah, I want some of that 50. I want both. So, good deal. All right. So, let's see who we got here. Mary Rogers, Scarlet Brimstone, Brittany, The Rooster. Kind of figured Mammy KB. Hi, Jules. Chief Jim, yes. Okay, yeah. Bring that steer and we'll put it in the smoker. Highlands Huskies in here. Carrie, Val Robinson, good to see you, buddy. Peaches Rambo, I love the name. Froggy Mountain Man's here. Let's see, reverse snowbird, of course. Sweet savory words, lots of familiar faces. Tanya Bednarchik. I'm going to try this. Gian Hun, maybe. If I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. So welcome everybody. Good to see y'all on a Tuesday night. We're getting to the point where I might soon be able to do these for a while, do them outside. It's still light out here. Sun's going down. I'm going to watch how late it stays late. I could sit outside and do these. So that'd be nice. But all right. So I wanted to touch base on a couple of things before we get into our lovely Q&A. I know there's a lot of talk about the silver squeeze that is supposed to come on the 1st of May. All right. So just so you guys know what that is, I see these people saying, oh, you're going to buy silver on the 1st of May. No, that would be buying at the high. Okay. A squeeze is when when you have a bunch of people trying to push the shorts out and cause the price to go up. So if you're looking at trading silver, which I wouldn't advise, but silver is going to be cheaper now at 26 and a quarter than it is going to be if this squeeze actually goes down. So, and we all know there's a shortage in buying silver, or a shortage in stockpiles of silver. Everything you're getting is waiting for the mints to put them out, and if you're finding stuff in the coin shops, you're lucky. But I keep stacking them, so every payday I grab some more. So keep getting it there. Trust me. I mean, it's going to pay off in the end. I mean, you hear stories about $200 silver, $1,000 silver, and everything like that. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about a $20 loaf of bread and what that silver will do for me. So that's the difference there. Then the supply chain thing. Some of you guys have probably heard of Cyber Polygon, which is the World Economics Forum way to try to disrupt the supply chain. Well, that's supposed to be a exercise that's going to happen next month. So that's coming up. But then if you saw this, we have shipping containers falling off of ships and dumping into the sea over and over and over again. So as of this afternoon, there's been over 1,000 shipping containers that have fallen off of the cargo ships into the sea. So, there's the Teslas, computer chips, iPhones, God knows what's been on these things. But so there's the other issue. And of course, the cargo company or the shippers and everything, have insurance for it, so they get paid. But the downside is we don't get the stuff that we need. So who knows what's going on there? So okay, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Okay, how about 99 cans of non-alcoholic beer? Does that work? Okay. All right, guys, same rules as always. Q&A, nothing's off limits as long as it's PG-13 or better. And please put all your questions in caps so I can read them. I try to start at the top, work my way down. So obviously you guys are talking a lot faster than I can get through the questions. So if I haven't heard your question or answered your question in 10 or 15 minutes, give me a little bit of time, throw it up there again. I try to get to as many as I can, but we're getting more and more people to come and join us on both nights, Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I get to as many as I can. If it's something that's, dire need, you need an answer or whatever, you can always email me too, but I will go through as many as I can here. And we'll do what we can in the remaining 52 minutes. So that being said, let me get them there. And Chief Jim says we miss Mrs. Pinball, and I'll give you this, guys. And we were talking about this. It's just there aren't enough hours in the day in the springtime for us to get everything done. I mean, it's cooking, we're slapping something together, or working out in the garden, trying to get this stuff planted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we apologize. We'll get back to that as soon as things are in the ground and calm down a little bit. But right now it's between work and then again after work tonight, it's like, all right, I got to go mortar some cinder blocks in, because trying to find any time we can to get all this stuff done before it gets to be 100 degrees and 100% humidity out here, and you can't work 15 minutes outside without dying out there. So all right, So that's the Mrs. Pinball story. And let's see. Okay. Do. Dennis Wyckoff, news story predicts a gasoline shortage this summer. Is this part of Create a Crisis? I've heard a little bit about this, not much yet. But I think, and again, I'm going to speculate out here. You know, we know what's going on with all the 46 restrictions on, fracking pipeline, which obviously wasn't finished, but, getting any fuels or whatever it is. And there's other stuff going against big oil and refineries. And then you have everything that's going on with Russia. So, the fuel that Russia's usually sending to Europe, now Europe is competing with us for the Middle Eastern fuels because, they're not getting it from Russia as much. So, yeah, shortage, I don't know, but we all know we're going to summer blend gas here, so that means the prices are going to go up again. So, yeah. But I've said many, many, many times, have yourself some 5-gallon cans of gas put away. Just make sure to rotate it, because the last thing you want to do is what happened in Vegas last week, where you had the gas stations all saying, out of gas, out of gas, out of gas. And if you need to get to work or get to the store and you need gas in the car and stores don't have it, if you've got a couple of cans of gas in there, hey, you can put 5 or 10 gallons of gas in the car, and at least you can get to work and hopefully ride it out a little bit. Just don't forget to rotate your gas, okay? Because gas is only good for 6 months or so. Okay. Undercover 0047. Every day I said I think I've seen it all now, till the next day. Ain't that the truth? Oh, speaking of North Shore, I wanted to tell you something. I did my part for the Canadian economy today. I put 2 people to work in Toronto today. So there you go. So I'm now helping your economy. Let's see. Send the trolls under the bridge. Okay, yes. Let's see. Yeah, Taft's not dead. It's a false flag. Okay. David Williams, good evening, back from central United States, back to central Mexico. Let's see, where are we here? Okay. Did I freeze up or miss up or something? There we go. Okay. And I got to go back up here because we shot all the way to the bottom on me. Okay. There we go. Caught up. Found where I was. Let's see. Sorry for the pause here, guys. I'm trying to scan through all this stuff. Somebody says mosquitoes. Rooster says, you bet I'll start corning that steer. Give me some boom boom and we'll smoke them. Yeah, there you go. All right. Jamie R., I made it. I'm here. Okay. Yep. We're in. Jesus, 550 people in here. Okay. Let's see what we got here as we keep on going. Looking for caps, guys. If you got questions, put them in caps. Jamie R., I know I'm going to sound like a nut, but I got a gut feeling that a major problem is going to happen by July. Sorry I had to say that. I don't think, never not trust your gut, okay? If you think something's going to happen in July, then make sure you're ready for whatever's going to happen in July. We all know that, 4th of July is going to come around, and you can almost bet that, we're going to have another lockdown, so we can't have a 4th of July party or whatever it's going to be, and I'm going to do the same thing I did last year. Everybody says we can't have one around here. I said, screw it, here, right here. I'm going to have it in my yard. So that'll be it. I'll have some of my friends over and we'll barbecue, and if everybody doesn't want to do anything, they want to sit in their house and listen to Dr. Fakey, they can do whatever they want. Okay. Rob Blackwell, newest with Russia, Black Sea ships. Good thing you brought this up. I want to again warn you guys about the crap that's being put out there. Okay. Somebody emailed me yesterday that I guess some channel was putting out there that the Russians were shelling Ukraine again. There's no truth to that. Okay, the only thing that's been going on in Ukraine lately is the Russians are activating reservists, the Ukrainians are activating reservists, and the Ukrainians are moving T-80 and T-90 tanks that they have to the eastern border. All right, now, obviously, this is still an issue. Okay, it didn't go away. It's not going to go away. It's not like everybody says, "Oh, gee," and they hugged and made up, and last week, and that was it. So we know something's still going to happen. Everybody watch it, but it's completely irresponsible of anybody to say that stuff is happening when it's not. Okay, and I mean, as soon as I start seeing stuff like that, it's like you're gone. Okay, you're no longer a respected source when you start making stuff up. Okay, and again, like I said, if you can't verify it once, in a couple of different places, I mean, God knows there's enough places you can go to look at it. But here was a simple one. If the Russians were shelling Ukraine, you think it might make at least one of the Ukrainian newspapers or TV stations, I don't know, you think they might say something about it, but no, it was nowhere. So when you hear some of that stuff, guys, check it out before you believe it. Otherwise, who knows, it could be somebody else telling you that, Biden just declared you a felon because you voted for Trump. So, okay, with the Black Sea, that's still going on. That that whole blockade or whatever it is, that was supposed to go on for 6 months. That's still going on. So that's still a source of tension. The bigger thing that you got going on right now is Turkey, because, and again, I talked about Turkey weeks ago. Okay, Biden pissing off Turkey because of calling what happened 100 years ago genocide in Armenia, and then you've got the Russians and against Turkey in Syria. So there's a lot of issues with Turkey right now, so that's something to pay attention to, but nothing's got too goofy yet. Dillard Stedman, will Russia attack and keep going into Israel? I can't tell you that one. I don't think they get that far. If they went into Israel, oh my God, that would be a World War III at that point. Holden Caulfield, I love the book, Catcher in the Rye. What was your MOS? 97 Echo, Interrogator. We were 90 series when it was linguists. It's now at 35 whiskey because they took the linguistics capacity out of most of the interrogators. So they changed the MOS, but mine was 97 Echo. How are my potato plants doing? Well, yesterday when we went out and looked, there were a couple dozen of them up. I didn't walk out to the garden today and look at them today, besides a 10-hour day at work today, because good things were happening for people, and then trying to get a little bit of work done on the smokehouse before it rains on Thursday. So I'm trying to get as much done as I can before the rain, and then I'm put off for days. I haven't even looked at my potatoes today, but they should still be there. Hopefully a little bigger than yesterday. Tanya Bednarchik. Limits on paper goods and sanitizer again in the store near me. Okay, that's first I've heard of that. But it wouldn't surprise me if you're going to start seeing shortages on paper products again. And I mean everything, not just toilet paper, but paper towels, paper plates, whatever it is. Again, those are good things to stock up on, because of the water issue and washing dishes and all. But if there's a shortage, and we know about paper pulp, we've talked about that for a long time, because of the shipping containers and pulp coming from Brazil, which again is something that pisses me off because that's stripping the rainforest. But yeah, if you can buy paper products, I'd get them. That's something to get a little extra in your stockpile right now. Gma, how much food should we prep for? Okay, so I'm for the longest time, I was a year, okay? And my whole point on that was if I've got a year's worth of food, that gets me through an entire growing season to grow more food and replace it and everything. Now, with what's going on lately, with the threats of war and things like that, I'm starting to look at 2 years might be a better idea. Okay, so, but again, step by step. Nobody's, it's not like you just go out and say, okay, I'm going to store and buy another year's worth of food. You all know how long it takes you to get it. Pick up a little bit more. Pick up a little bit more. Pick up a little bit more. If you've got 20 cans of tuna fish, go get 10 more. Make it 30. Okay, if you've got 15 months or 18 months or whatever it is, that's good. But again, you got to remember your rotation and how long stuff lasts. I mean, if like fruits are only good for about 4 years in a can or whatever it is, don't buy 2 years worth of canned fruit unless you eat a lot of canned fruit, because you're not gonna be able to rotate it like that. But my thought, and again, this is everybody's situation's different. Okay, but my thought is minimum a year, maybe 2. Kiss my grits. When you come on live, I drop everything. Monograph too. Okay, I'm not that important. Okay, if the dog needs to go get walked, that's more important. Foggy Mountain Man, looking forward to your first smoking video, as long as it's not synthetic meat with a side of flies. No, my first smoking video will pretty much guaranteed be a brisket, because nothing I love better in the summer than smoking a brisket or two. And these little bullet smokers and everything like that, they're okay, everything like that, they come out good. I want to be able to do a real brisket. And then if we can find some pork bellies, make some bacon or whatever. And then if I can get out and catch some fish, if I can ever find time to go fishing, but it's not Mother's Day yet, and that's usually the best time to start hitting bass. I know Mrs. P wants smoked fish, so if I can go catch some bass, we're going to be smoking some fish. So, but brisket will be number 1. Let's see. Diane S., Mr. Pinball, your yard is so beautiful. Love the little trees. Thank you. The big trees are natural growth that were here, when the property was just woodland, I guess. The little trees are the fruit trees we put in a couple of years ago. So eventually they'll get bigger, but they're dwarf trees. So, they'll stay under the canopy, but there's enough sunlight in there, they should be fine. Looks like you guys are off to the races on some of the trolls in here. Okay, let's see. Gary goes to thank you, Pinball, for Jerry Baker's terrific Garden Tonics book referral. No problem. That he's got a few of them out, but that one is for preppers. It's going to be a great book. I mean, it's a good, inexpensive way to do things now, but in any sort of SHTF situation, when the nursery isn't there, Walmart isn't there, and you got to get rid of cabbage beetles or whatever would be, there's proven methods are probably not as good as the chemical methods, but the stuff in there is at least organic too, for those that's a concern for. Glenn Bartolotti, Semper Fi, been watching you for a while. Okay, hey, I'll always say hello to my fellow brothers and sisters in arms. So we can joke with each other all the time, but I got respect for every branch. It's a little funny thing, guys. For those of you that are in the military or ex-military, we can call each other squids or grunts or zoomies or jarheads or whatever it is, because from somebody else that served, that's actually a term of endearment. If you get somebody who hasn't served and uses that term, now it's insulting. So just a little tip for y'all. Okay. Deb Gagne, heating oil prices going up too. Yeah, you're going to see gas prices, oil prices. I still say you're going to see $4 a gallon of gas. Ex-California, you'll see $7 a gallon of gas. But we're still going to see $4 a gallon of gas this year. I'm absolutely 100% certain of it. And I've been saying that since we were at $2 a gallon of gas. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Shot to the bottom. Okay. Melanie Carnation. Help. My broccoli leaves have holes. Moth larva. What should I do? Okay. You know those little white butterflies that you see out flying around? Okay. Those are cabbage moths. And they're going to hit brassicas. So your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage. Uh, and again, you get into Jerry Baker's book. There's things there. You can get some BT and use that if you want to. That would you're what you got are the worms, the larvae from the white butterflies that are eating the brassicas. If you can't get some BT, I'm trying to think what was the recipe to get rid of it. It was, oh God. It's, I mean, a real simple one that you can use is just like dish soap, like Dawn or something like that, and mix that in water. And I'm trying to think of what the other thing to put in there. That'll work. That'll work. Uh, God, sorry, it's missing me. Uh, I'll try to remember. There you go. Glenn just put it. Garlic. Thank you. Yeah, take some garlic and crush it up. Put it through a garlic press or dice it up real good. Thank you, Glenn. Uh, Put it in like a gallon milk jug. Let it sit overnight. Then you can pour it through a strainer, strain it in so you just have uh, the liquid. You don't need the garlic itself. You want to get that infused in the water. Put some soap in it. The advantage of soap is it makes it sticky. Shake it up real good. And then you can put it in a little spray bottle and go out and spray your cabbage or broccoli, whatever it would be. That is a good home recipe for getting rid of cabbage moths and that sort of stuff. So, okay, yeah. Trying to remember where everything was. It's like I couldn't remember garlic. Okay, now all that time thinking, we shot up again here. So let's see where we are again. Okay. There we go, in the right spot. Rebuilding ruins, Ronnie Hall. When is the breaking point to jobs? We've got tons of openings and nobody will work. Well, the breaking point is going to be September, okay, because that's when all the freebies end out. The interesting part, and again, I say this being a recruiter, okay, I can tell you I've been doing this for 18 years. You have gaps in your resume, and unless you have a good excuse for why you weren't working, okay, 9/11 was a good excuse. Last year COVID was a good excuse. Okay. If somebody has a gap in their resume from say January of this year to September, there ain't a company in the world that's going to talk to them because every company is going through the same thing. They know there are jobs out there. If you didn't take one of those, they know you're a freeloader. So you're not getting a job, okay? Plus your skills go stale too. Things pass you on by. I mean, imagine being, an IT guy that hasn't worked in 3 years. Okay, how many new softwares are there out there? It's like, oh, congratulations, you're a COBOL programmer. You know how many different things have passed you up? Doesn't matter anymore. It's like anything else. Everybody's in for a real big surprise when they say, oh, now I'm ready to go back to work. And nobody's going to want to hire them. Okay, companies will be desperate. Yes, they're going to take some, but you're back to the bottom. Okay, you're not getting $22 an hour to say would you like fries with that. Okay, guess what? You're going to be getting $8 an hour. Well, I was making 12 before this. Yeah, and you took 6 months off and decided to be a freeloader. Guess what? You're back to the bottom. Okay. So. Doug N49, British Columbia has its first case of Indian germ. Oh, Christ. Because apparently that one is bad. Now, I mean, again, I can't speak for it being in India. Okay, completely different culture, society, cleanliness, everything. So, uh, DJ Ronnie G, thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate that. Somebody else popped one in here too. I saw it a while back, and then by the time I got to it, it was gone. Somebody else had sent a super chat too. Thank you. I'm just sorry I missed it. There's a question in there. So I wanted to say real quick because I saw it on the phone. It was something about a dehydrator, I think. And I was answering another question. But please put it up again. If I do see it come through here again, I'll definitely get to it. I just apologize. Say again, honey.
She asked what would be better to buy, freeze dryer to stock up or read, or buy gold. What do you
Or
think?
buy a what?
Gold.
Oh, buy a freeze dryer or buy gold?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't eat gold, but I mean, yeah, that's asking about apples and oranges. Uh, God, if it was me, I'd probably buy gold. Okay, but then I'd probably buy silver instead of gold. Uh, a freeze dryer. I mean, and for you guys that don't know, a freeze dryer will set you back $3,000. Okay, and they're great to have if you can afford $3,000 for it. I mean, the thing is, how much freeze dried food do you need to put back? That's my question, because now you got to start adding. Okay, I want to freeze dry a bunch of eggs. Okay, so if a dozen eggs cost you $2, all right, now you've got to add on the cost of the freeze dryer and take everything and go. Okay, is it actually worth it? Because you're not going to freeze dry, you know, 3,000 eggs. So you got to do the calculation of going, how much freeze dried food do I want to have put back, and then is it worth it to buy a freeze dryer? Now, if you've got a huge group and you're going to be feeding 16 people or something like that, sure, it may be. For me and Mrs. P, a freeze dryer, I mean, it doesn't make financial sense. So my in that scenario, I'd buy silver. I'd buy precious metals over the freeze dryer, and I'd buy silver over gold. Okay, that's just my thought. Okay. Uh, let's see. Okay, that was that question. HJS video. Should you reuse pasta sauce jars as canning hard? Good or bad idea? I'm not the canning expert. I've heard other people talk about reusing the jars and stuff like that, that some of them fit the ball lids and everything. I'm going to have to defer to them. I'm a novice at canning, and as long as I'm a novice, I'm going to stick to ball jars and Kerr jars, and that's it. None of these off-brand things or whatever. I'm going to stick with what's tried and true. I just don't know enough about canning to give you a good answer on that one. I've heard people do it. I have no experience on it, and I'm not going to try to bullshit you away, through it. I don't know. Robert Bates, is there property for sale in Tennessee for a northerner needing out? There's property for sale all over the place out here in East Tennessee. Okay, if you want to be out in the woods, I mean, that's not out in the woods, let's say. But if you want to be out away from the city, yeah, there's property for sale all over the place. It's very rural. I mean, where I am, all the way to East Tennessee, which is probably the eastern tip of Tennessee, which is probably a 3-hour drive. I mean, there's land for sale all over the place. I mean, depending, you want an acre or two, you want 100 or two, you can definitely find it. I mean, some of it's going to be less expensive, some of it's going to be more expensive, but yeah, there's plenty of land to be found out, at least in East Tennessee. I can't speak for the rest of the state. Michael S., false flag incoming because of Arizona recount. Democrats scared. Yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be interesting, the whole thing with Maricopa County, and to see what comes up. But, nothing's going to come of it. It's not like they're going to go, oh, gee, we're going to give Arizona to Trump now, and A, it doesn't make a difference if they did, but B, even if they did, they're not, you're not going to pull somebody out of the election. The election's been certified, it's over. The advantage, though, that you have is there's going to be a whole lot of states that are Republican controlled, and I'm not a real fan of Republicans. I want to find conservatives, okay, because too many rhinos out there. But they're going to start putting laws into no mail-in voting, no Dominion machines, anything like this. We'll see how it works in 2022, because remember, again, midterm elections don't get nearly the turnout. But we'll see how it works and what kind of election changes are. We'll probably start hearing about that around the end of the year. Okay, Melanie Carnation, we talked about the broccoli leaves and my forgetting garlic. Jacques Bourne, am I building any intake air regulation into the smoker? No, it's not that high tech. Let's put it this way. It'll have smoker box, a hose, the smokehouse itself with a door and a vent, and that'll be it. If I want to get air, I can always open the door a little bit or whatever would be, or if I need more air for the fire, I can open up the firebox door. That's going to be about it. It's very low tech. Yeah, that's about it. Jerry G, tanker truck driver shortage, no one to deliver the gas. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me too. That's just, like everything else. There's shortages in workers, and if the guys don't want to go to work, because they're getting more unemployment, then that's what they're going to do. Sorry, we're drinking my NA beer, Milwaukee style tonight on ice because it was all out in the car. So it was hot. Let's see. Raptor Ranch, I have a book for you. My dad put it together. Okay. What's it about? Shoot me an email. Let me know what's up. Mary Rogers went to check on 12-foot treated decking planks to repair my porch, $11.95 each. Yikes. Yeah, I got to replace my back patio, and I really wish I would have done it last year because it's now got to the point where I told Mrs. P, I said, I'm just going to do it with this engineered stuff, the Trex or, one of the brands like that, because it'll last longer, and it's not that much more expensive than using treated pine. So it's like, screw it. If I got to spend that kind of money, because it's whoever built the deck did a crap job because it's rotting out underneath. And it's funny, the last time I was up in Indiana, I drove past my old house that I moved out of 10 years ago, and the deck that I built there 20 years ago is still standing and doing strong. Okay, but the one that they built here less than 10 years ago was rotting and falling apart. So, yeah, they just didn't do it right. Rooster, hey Pinball, have you heard the U.S. Post Office is now monitoring everything we do and receive? It's actually true. There was an article the other day about this, that the post office is tracking what people are buying and stuff like that on the internet, which was very interesting, and so, of course, this came out, and damn well that there's going to be investigations and lawsuits on this one as to why, okay? And I've got to think that this hasn't only been going on in the last 90 days, so we're going to see where the directive came for this one. Sharon Moore, okay, there's the question, thank you. Okay, so we got that one. Let's see. David Williams, what do I think of Kamala Gate? Every illegal immigrant child getting her book in the goodie backpack. They all get a little corruption there. Well, hell, I didn't even know she had a book. So, that would do. Who the hell wants to read with how to lay on your back in 3 easy steps, how to put your heels up in the air in 2 easy steps, How to sleep your way to the White House in one easy step. Congratulations, Kamala. Yeah, great role model she is. Let's see. Crystal Roby, if you have about 20 grand to invest in gold and silver, what do you recommend and how much gold and how much silver? Uh, that's personal. I'd probably say 100 to 1 would be a good ratio. 100 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold. That would be the ratio I would go with. Okay. Again, that's personal. Some people want to go more, but I'd say about 100 to 1. Which, if you want to break it down, that's about 2,500 ounces, or about 25. Well, if with premium, that'd be about $3,000 worth of silver and maybe a little under $2,000 worth of gold. That would be kind of how I break it up. So, but not a bad problem to have. That's not one I got. Raptor Ranch. My dad's code name was Rambo. There you go. Let's see, where else are we? On the 4th of July, Hot Weenies, cold beer, and BI booms. I don't know what BI is, but okay. Glenn Bartolotti, now Israel will kick anyone. Yeah, I would. I mean, Israel, you guys got to understand this militarily. Okay. Israel took the F-15 and improved it. Okay. With something as silly as putting rear view mirrors on the plane. Okay. That we never thought of. So now you can see behind you. What a concept. I've got the utmost respect for the Israeli military. So, a country that, has only been around for, 50, 60 years or whatever it would be, but, is constantly on high alert. Yeah, they need to have the best and brightest, protecting them. 11 Bravo. There we go, Dillard. Okay, infantry. Let's see. 88 Mike. 88 Mike was mechanic, wasn't it? That was the M88. That was the track vehicle, the tank, the recovery tank. Forget what 88 Mike was. I want to say it was mechanic, though. Rooster, good comment. Well, you can buy Lysol, buy it, store it. Good, probably a very good idea. Let's see. Old Rider got 200 sandbags in today, getting the sand tomorrow. There you go. I did a video a while back, guys, on sandbags. It's something to definitely have in your preps for a multitude of reasons. And you can go back and watch the video, but I talked about floods. I talked about the stopping power for different rounds. There's a lot of uses for sandbags, and they're not that expensive to get. Obviously you got to get sand if you need it, but at least have the sandbags, because you can always shovel dirt in them if you have to. Not like anybody's has any place to stack, 1,000 sandbags or whatever it is. But if you've at least got the sandbags and something's coming, you got some time to prep for it, you can do something about it. You can find dirt or sand. You can't find sandbags. Okay. Jennifer Skinner, stock water, the mega droughts. Yeah, I talked about that in that video, a week or so back. About A, stocking water, but B, about, what we can do, those of us who don't live out west, to help the people that do live out west. If we can grow our own food or whatever, so there isn't such as much pressure on the grocery stores to, let's say, have tomatoes shipped all the way to the East Coast, because we're not buying that many tomatoes because we're all growing ours. They can stay out on the West Coast where they can't grow as much because of the lack of water. It'll keep the prices down for them and keep them fed. So, in some of those respects, there are ways that you can help somebody who's, going through a drought. That's just one suggestion I give you guys. Diane Lashuk, why do Americans prefer ball jars over Bernadine jars, which are made in the States as well? I've never even heard of Bernadine jars. So that might be something to do with it. There's a marketing issue. Nobody knows who they are. Okay. Somebody just went flying by. Michael Curran, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. And now, how the hell do I get out of clicking on that? So let's see if I can do it this way. And yes, that worked. Okay, what do you know? But of course, it shot me all the way to the bottom, so I got to go. Okay, so now I'm stuck with this one. Guys, if I missed some, I can only get up so high. Sue S., Fox News with Tucker Carlson's talking about Russia and Ukraine right now. Obviously, I'm not watching Tucker. I usually do, but be interesting to see what is going on there. Michael Curran, have I tried the LDS Church for freeze-dry food? Yeah. The church has, I mean, my first introduction to prepping was when I lived in Salt Lake City, okay, and having Mormon friends, and them telling me about the church teaching it and everything like this. This goes back, like I said, 10 years or so. The Mormon church, I mean, great source of information for prepping and source of supplies as well. Harris's book, Superheroes Can Come From Anywhere. Yeah. Not from her family. Let's see. Truck driver, 88 Mike. Okay. Yeah, motor pool. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, mechanic. I had somewhere in it's like, okay, couldn't get it. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Rooster, platinum and palladium seem to be the hot item if you got the money out of my range. The only problem with, like you said, what is it? Palladium's like $28,000 an ounce or whatever it is. And again, I will say the reason I'm still a silver buyer instead of a gold buyer. Let's say we get into an SHTF situation and you have 1 ounce of palladium and you need a loaf of bread. Good luck getting change. Okay. That's the thing. That's why I like smaller denominations. Silver, or if you're going to buy gold, maybe in tenths of an ounce or whatever. I know everybody wants, oh, gee, I want gold bars, or I want, big 1 ounce gold coins or whatever it is. Problem with that 1 ounce gold coin is it's $1,800, and unless you're going to be spending $1,800. And again, I'm talking about for barter, not for wealth preservation. If we ever get that far, wealth preservation may be fine. But 1/10 of an ounce of gold, 10 of those is the same as 1 ounce, a 1 ounce coin. The advantage of a 1/10 of an ounce is they're easier to move around, to use if you had to use it in a barter situation. Okay. Crap. Scroll to the bottom on me again. Okay. There we go. Patriot Sandwich Maker, I need lumber prices to come down so I can build a fence and keep my nosy neighbors out of my business. Yeah, I mean, like I said, me building this smokehouse, the only reason I'm able to do this is because of my friend here who works for the construction company, and we got all that excess free lumber, and I've got it, because otherwise, I mean, I'd spend $1,000 on lumber for this thing, and that ain't happening. Doc B, thank you for the super chat. No, I agree. Russia, Ukraine isn't over. It's just we're the calm before the storm at the moment. Simple Preparedness. Ever check out goldbacks? Yeah, I've looked at them. It's not an official. It's a state currency. So I mean, how that all works, I'd rather own the physical metal. I mean, that's it. I don't want anything that's paper. Paper is what got us in this mess in the first place. Glenn Bartolotti, cool followers. Yeah, this is a great group of people in here. We keep the riffraff out. Everybody is very friendly, very, very conversational. Everybody in here believes in helping one another out. So that's kind of how I've always wanted to build this channel, and it's, because of you guys doing that, and my moderators keeping the riffraff out of here, we've built a good community, and I'm very happy about that. I mean, I thank God for you guys every day. So, uh, okay. Gina's saying, sandwich maker, try laurel, big evergreen bushes growing fast. Okay, I'm almost guessing somebody's asking about what we planted. We planted green giant arborvitaes. They grow very fast as well. Let's see. Jamie R., I'm afraid we're already in an SHTF situation. Yeah, in bits and pieces we are. I mean, when you have, food shortages, when you have inflation going on, when you've got armed conflicts going on around the world, when you've got, you know, an immigrant crisis on the southern border. Yeah, there's a lot of skirmishes that'll eventually lead to battles, which will eventually lead to war, which eventually leads to SHTF. So yeah, it's building. I'll agree with you there. Cha-Cha, you mentioned a wood stove for your home. Have you considered a side vent? See, the problem that we have, guys, and as much as I'd love to have a wood stove, the front of the house is all a covered porch. So that rules that out. This side of the house is all the driveway, okay? And literally it's the kitchen wall and where I'm sitting, okay? Sit at the kitchen table. The other side of the house is all our air conditioning units, the electrical box, everything like that. So that doesn't work. And the back wall of the house, there's two doors, a window, the kitchen cabinets, and a laundry room. There just isn't the space to put one. I mean, I could if I take out a wall over, or put a hole in a wall over here and vent it over my driveway. I mean, because I can't do it off the front porch, I can't do it off the back wall, and I can't do it out the side. So I mean, the only wall I have is this, and this is maybe 10 feet, and most of it's covered in window. Yikes, Deb. Quart of Oakhurst, half and half, $6.49. Ouch. Kelly 61 Ram, thank you for the super chat. How to make an electric well pump work if the power goes down. Okay. We talked about this in the past. If you do something, there's like, if you've got a generator, okay, and you can get a transfer switch put in, this will cost you a little bit, okay? But if you get a generator and have a transfer switch put in, then you can switch from the grid to your generator and run your essential things. You can run your water pump. Let's just say your essentials are your water pump and your furnace / air conditioner. Okay, I mean, for some people, air conditioning, it gets to be 100 degrees. Air conditioning is not necessarily a luxury anymore. And heat, your furnace is never going to be a luxury. So maybe you get a generator that you can run your water pump and run your furnace and your air conditioning on, and have that where you can plug the generator in outside, switch it over, and now you're running on generator power, and you can do your you have your water pump do. Then if you had a second generator, you could use that for running lights or your refrigerators or anything else. Again, something like that would be talking to somebody at an electrician for sure, because an electrician's got to put the transfer switch in. Figuring out what size generator you need for what size furnace, air conditioner, how much you want to run. If you want one generator to run the furnace, the air conditioner, the water pump, say your refrigerator and your freezer, you need to have the right size generator. So that's the way to do it. The least expensive way to do it. I mean, you can go get a Generac, put that in, that'll cost you 10 grand or more. But talk to an electrician, see what it would cost, see what's, have them come out, see what size generator you'd need to get, and then what it would cost to put a transfer switch in. And if you can, I don't know if you got a propane tank or whatever, see if you can get a dual fuel generator and have it hooked up, have the guy hooked up the propane to your generator. So, you can run off of that rather than gasoline. It's a little less powerful, but it's a lot more plentiful because if you're like me, I got a 500-gallon tank in the backyard. That's better propane-wise than I certainly don't have a 500-gallon gas tank in the backyard. Okay, whoops. This should be easy to find. Okay. The Rooster, let's do a silver giveaway on live chat. I'll donate. Just keep me posted if you're interested. Okay. So I do want to give you guys this, and I did promise you this when we did our 10,000 giveaway. The next one will be at 25,000. And at the speed we're going, it's going to happen pretty quickly. Okay. Mrs. P and I have already got all the giveaway items for the 25,000 giveaway. So when we get there, it will be the same fun way I did it last time because I thought that was a lot of fun, and some of you guys knew what we were doing and some of you didn't, but it was a lot of fun. So we will be doing the same thing when we get to 25,000 subscribers, but at the speed you guys are doing it, that'll probably happen sometime next month. So we'll see what goes on. All right. Let's see. Kelly, a manually operated water pump. Yes, you can. I've got one on mine. It depends on how deep your well is. Now, I didn't put it in. It was already here when we bought the house, which was good because my well is 330 feet deep. Okay. So, a manual pump is a good idea, but I can just imagine how much pumping I'm going to have to do to get that water up 330 feet. When does it, John Lanfear, when does this bizarro world end so we can go back to normal? My friend, I don't see that happening. 2019 is going to look good in the history books, and that's going to be about it. Let's see. Jules, yeah, we have a whole home generator that runs off our propane tank generator. Yeah, you can. But you know what those cost. And, as much as I'd love to have one, everything like that, it ain't in the budget. But we priced it out, and they wanted like $9,000 for it or whatever it would be. I can get a transfer switch and a generator for about $2,000. So for the amount of what I need it for, I'll save the $7,000 if I got that far. Old Guard Prepper says having a transfer switch installed $1,750. Okay, so if it's $1,750 and $1,000 for a generator size I need, $2,750 versus the $9,000 for the Generac. Okay, same difference. But thank you for throwing that in because that I didn't know. We are at 8:57. I can't believe it. So let's see. I actually got through I think I got through everything, didn't I? Cool. Joel said it was expensive last year. This year, friends got the same thing. They paid $2,000 more. Yeah. And the other thing, when I talked to the guy, we had him out to give me an estimate. He said they were 6 months out and getting generators too, to put them in. I hate this thing. Okay. Patriot Sandwich Maker Sam's Club says got dual fuel 12.5 generator for $1,100. That's a good price. Cha-Cha, how do I feel about the grand solar minimum? We're in the midst of it. And anybody that denies it, I will point to them the fact that we had record colds in Texas. We've still got, the end of April, and we've still got snow up north. Okay. And you've got wildfires going on in New Mexico right now. So, and massive droughts. Okay. Welcome to Grand Solar Minimum, guys. How many volcanoes did I say the other day? 29 active and another 12 that are rumbling. That's, yeah. Okay. Climate change is bullshit. Grand Solar Minimum is absolute truth. Fastest hour on the internet. No kidding, North. Let's see. I'm looking to see if I got anything. Teresa, I missed yours. Okay, I don't see the question. I see I missed yours. Type it real quick. Everyone sip their beer. Okay. twist my arm, Robert. Let's see. Freedom. NASA. Warrior Cheryl Ann about. Oh, NASA. Are you talking about the? Now we're more concerned about putting the first woman or the first person of color on the moon. You know, the last bastion of science. It's like, oh, okay, we got woke. NASA, you just lost all respect with a lot of people. Green Smoothie Queen, so much for that solar generator. Ain't that the truth? It got too insane for me to try to figure it out what I was doing, everything like that. I know a couple of you guys have offered to help and give me ideas for it. It's just there's way too many answers and too many things and how to do it, and I don't know what to do. So I'm just that's kind of it. Excuse me, man. But that's kind of been put on the back burner here for the time being. Best vitamins to store. Tristan said this. Multivitamins. Get yourself multivitamins with everything you have, and make sure you get one. Make sure you get vitamin D as well. I understand that you get vitamin D from the sun, okay, but look at the weather up north now. It's April and you're not getting any sun. You're gonna need that vitamin D, so make sure you get that. And make sure you have plenty of vitamin C. But multivitamins, way to go. Make sure you're getting 100% RDA. You're going to need the vitamin C to help you when you get sick, and you're going to need the vitamin D to keep you from getting sick. But that is it, guys. Okay, it is 9 o'clock. It is actually 9:01. And I know you probably have other places to go. So, y'all have a good evening. It is pitch black out here, so we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Thank you all for coming by. We'll talk to you in the morning. Have a good one. Pinball out.